deal?
Hey, I'm doing a big mic check here. How's it going, Emily?
Emily, what's the last movie you saw in a movie theater?
Oh, I saw Bohemian Rhapsody.
How did we enjoy it?
I really liked it.
That's great. Do
Yeah.
you care about Queen at all, and the people in real life?
I care about them in a karaoke sense.
Okay, that's fine.
Like
then.
they're very important to my karaoke career.
I accept that. What is the Queen go to?
Don't Stop Me Now.
Don't stop me now.
Or if you're in a group, Bohemian Rhapsody.
Sure. Do you know the
Or We Are
lyrics
the
without
Champions.
looking?
She knows all the lyrics to everything.
I probably know a good bulk of the lyrics, but not all of them.
Okay. What's the last thing you saw on Netflix?
Russian Doll, the series.
Did we enjoy it?
I really enjoyed it, yeah.
You saw the whole thing?
I saw the entire thing start to finish in a day and a half.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Addicted.
Watched
You
that.
saw it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Watched
think
the
you're
whole
the one
thing.
who recommended it to me, actually.
Nice. I'm a tastemaker.
Yes, well, in this case, you are. Not in
you.
the case of whatever that show was about the autistic brother.
Atypical.
She loves autistic.
Atypical, yeah. It was so bad.
Okay.
All right, doing a little mic check here. Henda, what is the deal?
Hey, I'm doing a big mic check here. How's it going?
And the people in real life.
I care about them in a karaoke.
Thing.
I probably know a good bulk of the lyrics, but not all. Russian Doll, the series.
Good, very good. All right, now I'm going to play a little ditty, and then we'll begin in 2, 3. Welcome to Keith and the Girl. I'm Keith Malley.
I'm Chemda.
We're going to be in Orlando this Friday, Chemda.
Yeah, let's do it up. We have a free show. It's part of Podfest Expo, but you don't have to buy your tickets to that. No. You can get a sampling with us for free. Go to keithandthegirl.com/Florida. So if you're in or around the Florida area, come say hello. It's Friday at 5 p.m. I think it starts a little after 5, but we're going to say 5. The information is at keithandthegirl.com/Florida. Hope to see you.
Today's guest, co-host of the Hot Mess Comedy Hour.
Hell yeah.
Who's not a fan. Featured on the New York Comedy Festival. Featured on Elite Daily. Emily Lubin.
What's up?
How you doing, Emily?
I regret that.
It's hard to know. Like, how do I make my entrance? You were probably thinking all day.
Well, no, I wasn't. I like to panic order these things. It's like when you're at a diner and it's like pancakes or waffles. Pancakes, you know what I mean? But
Right.
like then sometimes you miss the mark.
I follow your Twitter account, of course.
Oh, thanks.
You know that, at Lubination. And you wrote, I overheard a pregnant woman say she won't circumcise her son because it, quote, reduces sensitivity in the penis. Yeah, if I had to pick an area in which men should try to be more sensitive, it would definitely be their penises. Amen.
Thank you. I got crucified on Facebook for that.
Oh,
Because it's a
how's that?
controversial thing,
It's
right?
very controversial. I've learned. It's apparently I'm pro mutilation, and I've been circumcising young boys.
No, I am pro mutilation.
You're in charge of it.
I was mutilated, and it's the only thing my dad got right. Is that the problem, ladies? When you fuck a guy, first of all, and it's like, oh, he's just too sensitive. I really can't.
Seriously. Well, somebody actually commented. I woke up to over 100 comments on this
Wow.
Facebook status, all attacking me and calling me a quote man-hating cunt, which
Wow.
is true, but not because of this joke. You know what I mean?
Right.
And one of them said that if I'm pro circumcision in males, then that means I'm also pro circumcision in females,
Wow.
and that the foreskin is the male equivalent of the clit, which is probably the most absurd thing I've ever heard, because men can still come without their foreskin, whereas women can't come without their clits. So
I am pro circumcision, and never once did I think, maybe it's okay. These people that are cutting off vaginas,
right?
I do see a.
I mean, I don't know. I think it might be fucked up, and I'm willing to like entertain the idea that it is mutilation, but like comparing the two just seems like kind of a stretch.
Yeah, I
to
agree
me.
with you. Comparing the two is not a comparison. The clit is not the same as the tip of a penis. And we have other ways to come, but that is a really good resource.
Yeah.
And I'm not pro or against circumcision. I think we're doing it for silly reasons, and we haven't figured out why, but it hasn't like streamed into the social norm of America yet, so I understand why you would circumcise. But really, there's no good reason why we're doing that, other than aesthetics, that you want to look like your parents.
Well,
penis.
she's pointing out a good reason. Sensitivity in and of itself is a good reason. Let's get rid of some of it. If I was any more sensitive, I'd be exploding right now. I don't think I'm exaggerating.
Nobody wants that.
Right, nobody wants that. And health reasons that people ignore, that the CDC does say it's cleaner if you don't have foreskin. And people saying, oh, my kid, they just have to wash better. Your kid hides vegetables under the couch, okay? You can't trust them to wash better. They army crawl in the mud. You can't get them to shower, period. I have a girlfriend with 3 kids. She can't get these kids to take a shower. Now she's going to trust somebody with taking care of foreskin? Get out of town.
Yeah,
I get
and
what you're saying, but America is just not used to it. But there's other countries where they're not circumcising their kids, and their penises are not falling off because of dirt. Like nothing's really happening.
Can we just take a moment to acknowledge that Keith knows what the CDC says about circumcised dicks?
Yeah, don't act like I don't know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
that's really impressive.
Thank you. And you have all these kids in schools drawing dicks on desks. Now you have a circumcised child, and the kid's like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Start-
He's like, I'm not represented here.
Yeah, start drawing wind socks, and then maybe in the future, no,
That's why we have to start drawing vaginas instead of dicks.
God gave you
Just change it up a
foreskin.
little.
Fun fact, when they're erect, they look exactly the same.
Do they? I've never seen an uncircumcised penis up close. The only time I've seen it live is on Limelight because some guy got naked on stage.
Oh, okay. But far away.
Yeah, like I was.
And I'm guessing it was not erect.
No, it wasn't.
Okay, yeah. So I was fucking this guy for like on and off for years. And I saw his dick countless times, but I guess I never saw it flaccid.
Huh.
Humble brag.
Oh yeah.
And he mentioned it like as a throwaway comment one day, like, "Yeah, I'm uncircumcised. You know that." And I was like, "Yeah, totally.
Oh, shit.
I totally know that."
You were dating a non-Jew.
Super non-Jew.
Yeah.
Super non-Jew.
Keep the foreskin if God gave it to you, and keep your appendix and your tonsils and your wisdom teeth. Hemda should have kept her tumor. No, God makes mistakes, and some things you have to get rid of. Keep the umbilical cord, right? Maybe the kid will grow up and find somebody that's into it. No, there's some things you get rid of, and you be a human adult.
It would be fun to wave around.
It would be fun, but it wouldn't be practical.
No,
That's all I'm saying. Recently, you went to a sex club.
I did. I went to a sex party, a private sex party.
A private sex party, right? Do you have to say ahead of time, hey, here's my picture. Do I qualify? Like, is that
No. It was, everybody was allowed. It was
Okay.
like a very nice mixture of people. There.
How did you find the club?
Well, I went because my friend Billy Procida, who your audience knows.
We were talking to Billy just yesterday. He knows all the ins and outs, right?
What did he tell you about the party?
No.
So it's it's a party called Hacienda, and I think it's okay that I say that. And
Not that way, but yeah.
it's they do sex parties like quite frequently, like at least monthly, and they have different locations because the guy who owns it is a real estate guy, and he has these like really insanely nice houses all over Brooklyn, and he just throws these private sex parties to people who are members, and then members can also bring non-members.
How much is it?
I think it was like $75 a ticket.
Whoa.
But worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you go and this
One second. Do you bring condoms?
I did not. I wasn't planning on fucking anyone. And
Usually
I
there's
also did
condoms
not.
all over the place, right?
Yeah, I like my
Condoms,
own.
lube.
I like my own.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't see them. I assume that people brought their own. It was BYOB, so I assume it was also bring your own protection.
I picture the lubes like a punch bowl. People just dip their hand in it.
Yeah, a basin.
Yeah, I'll bring my own. Thank you.
Yeah, but I mean, it was really like, it didn't even, aside from the fact that people were fucking everywhere, it felt more like a house party. It wasn't like, there was no pressure to fuck anyone or whatever. And also, like, things didn't start going down for real until after midnight, like probably 12:30.
So what was it like before midnight? Did you feel people cruising you? Were you checking out people? Do you have an indication that you don't want to fuck or?
See you at 12.
So it was, I guess there are themes for all of them, and this theme was après ski. Very fancy.
Oh, God. What
does that mean?
I need Google.
After ski.
What?
Après in French is after. So it means after ski, but like that means like
What is a ski?
ski, like skiing down a mountain.
Oh, so we're pretending we're just at a ski
At a
lodge.
lodge. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
après
exactly.
ski.
Yeah.
Après ski in
Après
my
ski.
pussy.
I'd walk in, they'd be like, we're at a ski lodge. I'd be like, no, we're not. Goodbye.
Yes, we are. Let's go down the slalom.
Wow, nice accent.
Did they have hot chocolate and stuff?
They had
Yeah, there were black eyes, Keith. Oh my god. Too much.
There were, I mean there was a jacuzzi, which I think was like trying to fit the theme. There was a fire pit.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was very deluxe. And then everybody was kind of dressed on theme, but it's weird. It's like an awkward theme to have at a sex party because
Wait, it's a ski theme, so you're dressed in your ski clothes?
exactly.
Oh, that's hot.
Snow pants and a bra. Like, what do you wear?
No.
What do you wear?
Well, I didn't really dress on theme. But the people who did, I mean, guys were walking around like in boxer briefs and then with like a Canada Goose over it.
So
Everybody looked kind of silly.
So you
in
just
my
hear
opinion.
that fabric walking around.
Yeah, exactly. And then they would have to just take it off and hold it. But there was a jacuzzi, and I knew there was going to be a jacuzzi there, so I actually wore a bathing suit. But everybody else in the jacuzzi was nude, so I was like the weird one in my bathing suit.
You prude.
Yeah, I kind of am. I've learned I
guess
didn't,
it's all relative.
yeah. I mean, I didn't go with any intention of having sex with anyone, but I would if I went there with a partner. I could totally see myself doing it.
Can you see yourself making out with a couple of people or like?
No, I mean, I don't know. Never say never, but it's
How did you know that you weren't going to?
because I had never been in that environment before. I had
Do
actually
you think you would a second time?
maybe. I mean, we'll have to see.
So you knew this time was only to watch.
This time was to watch.
Even if you get horned up, you don't play the game. You're just learning today.
I'm just dipping a toe.
Okay.
Easing my way in
All
to the
right.
waters.
But I get
of
what you're
this
saying.
Brand new world.
I get what you're saying, Emily. Like for sure not going, especially if you're going with Billy and you went with Andrea.
Well,
also.
yeah. Andrea was there. Like
That's
it was
weird. I don't want to do
It was
that.
very much like a group hang type of thing. But Andrea and I did have a code that, like, if push came to shove and if something happened where like we had to fuck,
Right.
we had a code word.
It would be a push and a shove probably, but yeah. And what's the code word?
Fresca. It was. Did you drink all the Fresca?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to be a weirdo and just go Fresca.
Yeah. No, that'd be fucking
Right.
crazy.
Sorry to interrupt. Andrea, did you drink all the Fresca? And then what would she say? Sounds
And
good?
so that would be my indication to her that I'm
Yeah.
gonna go bone.
But
And
did you
then-
think, but it's a code so you can say it in front of other people, right?
Yeah, of course.
How do you think Andrea would answer? Did you drink all the Fresca?
She'd be like, "Oh yeah, sorry, man," and then
Leave.
I would leave, and then
Okay.
she would know that
Right.
that's where I am.
Okay.
and she wouldn't come looking for me.
What if there was Fresca at the place? It seems like the ski lodge would have Fresca.
Well, I think we picked Fresca because it's like it's kind of like a backup mixer. Like you don't see Fresca. It's not like a standard.
No, I'm not shitting on it. That's good.
I mean, although it is very good.
Did you see people have sex after midnight?
Oh yeah, everywhere.
Now, how close do you get to watch?
I was getting as close as possible. There were like multiple. They call them play spaces. And
I call them spaces.
Right. And there were like giant couches with that fit like
Couch play.
up to like 20 people.
Okay.
Oh,
But
wow.
then there were other areas with smaller like little cot beds and like smaller love seat type things where like that maybe fit only like 4 people on them.
Would you be like 5 feet away, closer?
I definitely got 5 feet.
Okay.
Do you just stare it down? Do you fold your arms and catch yourself folding your arms?
Is your hand on your
is-
chin?
Yeah, I'm stroking my beard.
Mommy like.
I just stand there feeling myself up.
I was definitely hypnotized, and I wondered if, like, I didn't want to, but I wondered if I could get away with masturbating in the corner or something and watching.
Why
I think I
couldn't
could.
Yeah.
The thing is, I think as
Everybody's
a woman,
fucking. Could you get away with it? They're
well,
fucking.
you don't want to look. I don't want to look like a weirdo, Keith. Like, I don't want to.
At the sex club?
Yeah.
Having sex with yourself?
Yeah. But here's the thing.
Okay. I'm
I
just
think
so polite. Okay.
I think as a woman, you can get away with a lot more than you can as a man. Like, man, I think men probably have to worry about appearing creepy.
Except I would want somebody masturbating to me if I'm fucking in public. I'm
Would
at
you
the
do
sex-
it? Do you think? Have you ever
What?
been to a sex party?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had sex in front of people.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
How was it?
It was great. And then I'm offended when people are not watching. What the fuck
Hello?
am I doing here?
My TV show's on.
I mean, I always I assume that they want people to be watching, but there's a difference between like, oh, I'm being a casual voyeur and I'm standing literally a foot away from you, staring you down while you fuck.
I mean, make it sexy. Can you make it sexy and stand a foot away?
I don't know. I'm very awkward.
Do you have a wristband that says I'm just observing, like I'm a newspaper reporter?
So there were passes. I forgot. This is what I was getting at before. So with the ski theme came these, you know how they have those ski tags that
Oh,
they
like the
attach
bunny
to your
slope and-
So they had a
Who
tag.
was on Black Diamond?
Right.
So it was Black Diamond. I think what was weird was it was the opposite of what you would think.
Oh,
so
like Black
bunny,
Diamond should have been anal.
Yeah.
Right, that's what I would think.
Yeah.
But it was the opposite. So bunny was easy, but that means like I'm easy. So like I'm down for whatever.
That's weird.
Oh, like
And then-
anyone could ride me.
Exactly. And then
Oh,
Black
even
Diamond.
children. Because that's the fucking bunny slope. We're naming it bunny slope.
Yeah, exactly. And then the middle one, I don't remember what it was, but it was like, I'll wait and see. And that's
Oh.
what I did check that one off because I was like,
Okay.
maybe Fresca.
Nice. Andrea also had a Fresca. You had the wait and see one. Okay.
Yeah,
Did
she
Billy
clicked.
have the wait and see one or the go for it one?
This is a lame club.
I actually don't know, but Billy didn't fuck anyone either.
Okay.
We were just hanging out the entire night. Just we were in the jacuzzi for like over an hour.
Now, are people hitting on you?
No, not really. The thing is,
Andrea, were people hitting on her?
no,
Okay, maybe not. All right.
no.
What were you guys doing?
We were. I'll tell you.
Are
what
you
we were
wearing
doing.
actual skis? Like, what do you mean nobody's hitting on you?
Yeah, I came to hit the slopes, Keith. They're not because you would think it's funny. Like going into it, you would think that people would be very aggressive.
They're more aggressive on the subway, it sounds like.
They are. I have gotten more action on the subway than I have at this party because people are so conscious of being so respectful. They ask consent. Somebody asked consent to give me a hug. Like they ask consent for everything, and they're very careful not to overstep boundaries, which is just it's in the interest of keeping everybody safe.
But it sounds like they're not even talking to you.
We talked to a few people, but it never got flirty or weird. But I think if I was giving off a different vibe, maybe it would have. I'm not sure.
Okay. Is this true that sometimes you'll take pussy juice, your own, you don't buy it, and wear it like perfume?
Yeah, if by sometimes you mean all the time, then yeah.
Because
So
now
if I hug you right now, I might get horned up.
You caught me. I'm not wearing it right now.
Okay,
Because
okay.
I showered not too
I
long
was,
ago.
yeah.
Because I have said to you before, you smell good. And I
well,
hope
now you know why. Yeah.
So what's the science behind that? Must be obvious, right?
There's science behind it. Yeah. So apparently, and I learned this a little over a month ago, and it has transformed my life. If you basically finger yourself and you get some of your musk
God sent
on your fingers.
You're actually like going inside. You're getting.
I'm going inside.
Ton.
Yeah, I'm going inside.
Wow, Hemda.
I mean, no, it's not crazy.
Well,
I'm
Hemda
not
has
like,
a bucket down there. So
yeah, now we know
You're dipping in.
You're dipping in, yeah. That's what I call it. I call it dipping in. So I dip in, and then you rub it on your pulse points, like where you would put perfume.
the neck, the wrist.
That's not sticky?
No.
Why is it not sticky?
I mean, maybe it's a little sticky, but it's not so sticky that, like, your hair's sticking to it and shit. It's just, like, I guess it's a little more viscous than perfume would be. Yeah. You seem very perplexed.
Hemda has a literal honey pot.
Yeah. Thickest cum on the block over here.
Everybody knows about
It's
her.
hard. It's hard to imagine, like, what it just goes in your skin and it doesn't.
Well, Hemda will practice. So anyway.
So, like, I started doing it before, like, mostly before I would go out on dates and stuff. And I noticed that not only was I getting laid consistently, which, like, that doesn't automatically mean that it's because of the pussy perfume, but people were specifically commenting how good I smelled after I did this.
And you don't think it's you carrying yourself a different way, thinking in the back
Well,
of your head?
I have considered that. I have considered maybe it's a placebo effect, but I've been talking about it quite a lot on my podcast, and some of the listeners have been trying it, and everybody has been getting fucked.
Everyone's getting laid.
This one girl said that she had her first threesome after trying it.
Wow, you got to be careful out there.
Yeah, no, seriously. If you wear it during the day, like, you'll probably get tackled by a herd of construction workers or something.
Right, or like fish are jumping out of the sea. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I highly recommend it. I'm like telling everybody I know.
Is it almost unfair to do that when you go on a first date? Like the guy doesn't have a chance.
Nothing's unfair.
Love and more.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Wow, that's something else. Would you, like, if you were,
I usually wash my hands after I dip in. You fucking spray it all over.
do you ever realize you put too much, and you have to
No.
waft it or like
No.
wash it and start
Do you
again?
throw it up in the air and walk in it?
Yeah, I've done that. I spritz.
Spritz, walk.
You like come like a dude, like a goosh, and then you just walk in it.
The problem isn't the problem isn't using too much. The problem is
Too little.
Yeah, like not generating enough.
Right.
Shut
Because
up.
if I don't put it on before I leave the house, then I'm just like in a public restroom trying to like finger myself and
Right.
put it on my neck. It's
Yeah.
it's intense. It's a lifestyle.
Is it better to come first and take that, or it's just
No, just like warm up the oven a little bit.
okay?
Preheat it to 350 degrees.
Do you ever smell your wrist? Like, oh, is it still on?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I smell myself a lot.
What
I mean,
happens
just to-
when you're
but
on
just,
your?
But just to check.
Just to sample.
What
I mean,
happens when you're on your period?
I haven't.
It's pretty obvious. She looks like an Indian.
I have war paint. I haven't tried it on my period. I'm done.
Now,
Just making sure we.
You're
covered
acting like
everything.
one of those obnoxious kids in school that's like, well, what did, and like, you're asking like the most obvious questions, and I'm not even going to bother answering.
Well, sometimes the most obvious questions get laughs.
Yeah.
Did you recently? You went to Florida, seeing a guy.
Yeah.
Okay. And it was understood you were going to have sex. That was the whole point of the hookup. You saw him on what, social media, or how did you meet him?
Yeah, we had been talking, we connected on social media. We had been talking for about 3 months.
FaceTime, that kind of thing.
FaceTime, phone calls,
Masturbating
texting.
FaceTime.
Yeah, there was some of that.
Yes. And
Yeah.
so he says, "Hey, come on down to Florida, and I'll give you a right old banging."
Yes.
Right?
Yes,
I don't know
he
how
did
they
say
talk
that.
down there. So who pays for the flight? You do, right? You're an adult.
I did, yeah.
Okay. You fly down, and he says, "You know what? I decided I don't want to have sex with you."
Well, okay. It's kind of that is how I boiled it down for you, but it was kind of it was more complicated than that.
Okay.
So
Does he have a
told-
disease?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. Does he have a wife?
I mean, is douchebag a disease?
Does he have a wife?
No.
All right, I covered everything.
So, I mean, we had been talking in very explicit detail what we were going to do sexually, and it was understood what was going to go down.
Perfume was going to get on his cake. You know what I mean? You know what I mean.
I'm really grossed out by that.
Yeah.
So I get down there. He picks me up from the airport,
Nice.
and
A gentleman.
yeah, sure. And immediately when I get in the car, the vibe is just different. Okay. And I knew that this was a possibility. I mean, this was one of my biggest fears.
Like what? Like friends? Like, nice to meet you.
Yeah. Like kind of awkward, kind of quiet. But also, I mean, like I said, we had been talking to somebody in person is very different than talking to them on the phone or online or, so I kind of wrote it off as this is just a little awkward because it's a weird situation. But we went out to dinner and, so we went out to dinner and it was fine. It was still a little awkward. We get back to his apartment and he's like, okay, I'm going to take a shower and then we can go out like dancing after. That was the plan.
Okay.
He's going to take a shower or you just got off the plane?
He was going to take a shower, yeah.
Okay.
And so he goes into his room and he
shuts the door,
falls asleep. So I'm sitting in his living room. He hasn't even turned on a light. He hasn't shown me, where the Brita filter is.
Nuh-uh.
I'm sitting in a dark room, not knowing what the fuck to do. Okay?
Now, fairly recently, Andrea went to California and saw somebody she was into, realized he has a drug problem. Do you think, hey, is this related to drugs?
Well,
you just got there. He shuts the door and goes to bed.
Yeah, well, that was a concern prior to, but this more came off as like, wow, you really are not excited to see me. Right. Like this was more like, oh, you made a split decision that like now you're not interested for whatever reason, and so you are leaving me in a dark room so you can go take a nap.
So here's the thing. Let's say you're not interested anymore. Too bad. You have a guest now.
Yeah.
Like he could just be friends with you now, and he shouldn't sleep. Like no matter what.
Well,
none of it makes sense.
Yeah.
I can't imagine a scenario in which even one of my closest friends came to visit me in New York and I would leave them in a room and go to sleep.
Meanwhile, you're covered in pussy juice.
I know. I'm primed and ready to go.
Yeah.
We just had sushi.
Yeah.
You're going to have sushi.
Hello.
It's just, it's
so how did you realize he fell asleep? You're texting him from the other room.
Well, he fell asleep.
Suddenly you hear snoring.
Yes.
Oh
yes.
my God.
I go in there to check. And he is fast asleep. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know if he's out for the night. I really don't. I'm freaking out at this point, to be honest, because I don't know what I'm doing there. I'm in a stranger's house.
And it's such a lack of care.
Yeah. I just, it's so rude on so many levels. And I don't know if I should wake him up or if I should just wait for him. I decided to wait for him. He was out for an hour. And then after an hour goes by, he gets up and he's just kind of like, oh, sorry, I fell asleep.
Like, what do you do for an hour? Are you texting Andrea? Because you don't know how to work his TV.
I'm reading a book.
Oh, my God.
I am sitting in the living room reading a fucking book.
What was the book?
It's actually a very good book.
How to Lose Friends and fuck
and alienate people.
Right.
It's a great book. It's by Miss Pat. You know Miss Pat?
Sure.
Yeah. It's called Rabbit. Very good book.
Okay.
But anyway, he comes out. He actually ends up taking a shower after the nap.
Oh, so his promises are real.
Yes.
Great.
Exactly.
Oh, good.
I said a shower.
Yeah.
And then he sits down on the couch, and I'm still internally freaking out.
All right. And you guys haven't kissed or anything?
No, we haven't kissed. We haven't touched. Nothing.
Did you hug hello?
Yes, but it was in a car. So, like in that cramped space, like side hug situation.
He didn't even get out of the car.
He did not get out of the car.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
He didn't get out of the car.
Oh, my God. I don't understand this.
I don't understand it either.
As a human. just if you were coming to visit me and I'm picking you up and I don't even want to have sex with you. Like, you're just an acquaintance. Get the fuck out of it. Oh, my God.
I know. And what's so funny about this is everything that transpired, I felt obviously weird about, but I was being gaslit so hard by this whole, because I didn't have anybody to run by this. Like, is this crazy that he fell asleep? Could he have just had a long work day? And is he narcoleptic? I don't know.
So I went on Reddit. Am I an asshole section?
There was an AMA.
Right.
I'm a narcoleptic. I wasn't going to say anything. And then at some point, he decides that he's going to get up and go to sleep. For the night. Okay?
Were you talking about anything?
Yeah, we're talking. We're like watching the Blue Planet, getting stoned and stuff. But I'm not saying anything because I don't know if I'm crazy.
How long were you going to be there? What was the plan at first?
3 days.
Wow.
Wow. And you missed the marathon for this.
Yes! This is the most upsetting part.
Do you know how much dick was at that marathon?
I don't want to know. Okay. I heard about it. I heard it was a blast.
Holy shit.
But you know what? Okay. So he's like, I'm going to go to sleep. And I was like, whoa.
I'm going to go to sleep?
Yeah.
He didn't go like, so where do you want to sleep? Like, here's where you're sleeping. Here's the pillow. Here's a night. Where
am I sleeping?
Yeah.
Where am I sleeping?
Yeah.
That is the main thing, and that's in my head right now is like, I don't know. Like,
he's not inviting you to go sleep.
It seems like he's not into it. So, like, am I sleeping on the couch?
Mm-hmm.
Am I sleeping on the floor?
Wow.
Am I sleeping in his shower that he just soiled? Like, what is going on? So I'm like, do you want me to come sleep in your bed with you? Like, what's the vibe here? Like, are you into this? Are you not into this? And he's not giving me a straight answer.
Pussy.
And then it escalates to him being like, well, you seem like you're mad at me because I fell asleep. Which, first of all, I have every right to be mad at you that you fell asleep because that's fucking crazy. But second of all, it's the anxiety has now taken over me because I'm like, this person is clearly not into me, but I'm sitting here and nobody's saying like what the expectations are moving forward. So it escalates. And also the weed didn't help because I was extremely paranoid at this point. So I'm like, is he going to kill me? I sent Andrea a,
location.
Yeah. Like I dropped a pin.
All of a sudden she'll fly to Florida.
Well, at least you'll know where to find the body.
Just to alert the police. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it turns into an argument that I never wanted it to be. I just wanted to know what was going on, right?
How much were the tickets?
It was like in the 200 range. Okay. So anyway, we do end up going to sleep in the same bed, but I'm like all the way on one side of the bed, like almost falling off of it. And he's all the way on the other side. Okay. And then the next morning I'm like, well, I have to address this because this is fucking weird. It's in the air.
Who wakes up first?
We woke up around the same time.
Ew, that's worse.
Yeah.
Like, did you have to pretend you're not up?
No. I think maybe he woke up like a few minutes before I did, but we woke up at the same time. And so I was like, listen, about that whole falling asleep thing last night, I would like to just like forget about it, but just so you know, I was freaking out because it seems like you're not excited that I'm here, but 2 days ago you were talking about how excited you were that I was coming. So
and I can't believe I have to have this conversation.
Right.
Yeah, it was just
and now you're about to make me feel stupid about it. Okay. Here
we
go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, was he ever?
Because the funniest thing is those are very simple words, and he, I imagine, goes, I don't get it. Why are you so mean? Why are you so mad?
I mean, I feel like I'm almost mad at myself for giving him an excuse to blame this on me, because for almost an entire day, I was sure that this was my fault because I thought that I acted crazy. But then now that I'm telling people, every single person that I'm telling is shocked and appalled that anybody would fall asleep the first night that I get there.
Yeah, he's acting like he's not allowed to fall asleep in your presence because you're so excited. You know, like
right, which is so not the point.
Yeah, to exaggerate that stuff, I feel like it's what we got as little kids, like just why are you being stupid sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay. I'm
exactly.
being stupid.
I mean, but if the tables were turned again, I mean,
Are you the same age?
We're about the same age.
Okay.
Yeah. So he says, you know, that whole situation just made me realize that, you know, this is like moving too fast.
Where is it going that it's fast?
Ding,
The only
ding,
way
ding,
that
ding.
it should be moving is me getting dicked down.
Yeah.
Okay. I flew to Miami. I cannot believe I flew to Miami to not get dicked down. That is the most disappointing thing ever.
And because he thought it was moving so fast. But
yeah, but at that point, I couldn't be like, oh, you know, it's actually not moving fast. Like, I want nothing to do with you except I
Right.
would really like for us to bone because I don't want to beg for it.
Yeah.
What makes you feel less? And also, I didn't want to put him in a position of forcing him to say something not nice to me or hurt my feelings because if he really wasn't into it, then I didn't want to double down and be
Yeah.
like, please have sex with me. You know what I mean? That would just be the most mortifying thing ever. So I'm just like, listen, man, if you don't want to do this, we don't have to do this. Like, this is totally up to you. And then the entire day I had to spend with him going to the fucking Everglades, spotting alligators.
What? Why are we doing that?
Because he felt obligated to like
Oh.
show me around. But this has turned into a completely platonic thing, except it's not even platonic because neither one of us wants to be there now.
Oh.
And we're like taking a road trip, going to food trucks, going to the beach, stopping by the river to look at manatees.
Are you having fun at all? Like this is what
I am
it is
having
now.
so little fun.
Right. And then you
'cause it
and then
sounds-
you have to sleep another night.
Yeah, and then I have to stay there another night.
That sounds like
And
it could be fun with somebody else.
if it was with an actual friend, then
Yeah.
yes. But this is just, I couldn't have a minute alone to decompress from the insane. I mean, forget about that insane situation, but there were 3 months leading up to it, nonstop texting, sexting, like
That's a long
friendship.
time.
Yes. So to then act like, oh, well, you know, we know each other, but we don't really know each other. You know, it was like minimizing the shock of the situation.
What a pussy.
Have you talked to him since? Like,
No.
okay, you're done.
Done.
Okay.
Did you think
Very
of
much done.
moving your flight up to leave early?
Yes, but it's so expensive.
Really?
So what I did in the end was I checked into a hotel.
Oh, wow.
Because that was actually less expensive. I checked into a 4-star hotel.
Wow.
Less expensive than what?
Then
flying
changing
back.
my flight.
I see.
Did you enjoy
changing
the
your-
hotel? Because that's fun.
Oh yeah, I was drinking Coronas on the beach with like there was a private beach access.
Wow.
I was like living large for a day and a half.
Did you think about calling up some dick?
I don't know anybody in Miami. Calling who? Like an escort service?
How about calling the internet? Hey, internet, I'm in this hotel.
No, it was there. The window wasn't big enough. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
there were so few.
No time
options.
to vet.
No time to vet. Exactly.
Wow, 3 months of friendship over the phone.
Yeah. Yeah. I was very.
Does he think you'd never show up and then didn't have the balls to say and then hoped the plane crashed and then picked you up? But maybe you'll know my location, so I'm going to go to the airport anyway, even though.
I
a lot to
think.
hope for.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think he kind of felt like a baller because, like, that I decided and actually flew down there. And then the second he got it, he just decided it wasn't for him.
Huh.
Like, I think he built up this moment so much in his head of, like, the goal is to get her here.
Now, it's not your fault anyway, but did you invite yourself or did he invite you?
He was begging me to come.
Okay.
Ugh.
Like, months and months of, when are you coming? Have you booked your ticket yet? Yeah, like really wanting me to come. I was very reluctant actually at first to go because I've had another experience in the past where I flew to get dick. I'm not flying to get dick anymore.
Right.
That's like no dick is worth whatever up to $450.
The thing is, that sounds so fun because I think, they always say like women take sex too seriously, blah, blah, blah. But when we play ball, guys are like, no, you're already taking it too seriously. I'm taking it too seriously.
Right.
It's a weekend. You can't stalk him after. I mean, you can, but you
No.
stalk him. It's a weekend, and he suddenly went nuts in his head. But meanwhile, we're accused of being too serious.
Exactly. I mean, I think maybe he thought that my feelings were going to get hurt, but
So hurt your feelings.
well, anybody's feelings would have been hurt if somebody fell asleep right in front of their eyes when they thought they were going to get fucked.
Yeah.
Like
wow.
that it's the complete opposite, literally, of what I thought was going to happen.
Oh, you meant I'm sleeping with you.
With
Right.
you,
Like-
not in the other room while
Yeah.
you're sleeping and I'm not.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, super weird. But yeah, I'm not and I mean, never say never, but like if I ever do fly for dick, I'm going to have like a really strict policy, like sign here.
How about
And
they
like
fly-
maybe a minute of box eating for every mile that I travel or something, which in this case would be like 48 hours of box eating.
You might die.
I might die, but like worth it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Can you imagine?
That's nuts.
Now,
What is going on out there?
do you somehow tell all his friends?
Ooh.
If I lived in Miami, I would fuck every one of his friends. For sure. I would find a way. I'm like pissed that I don't. I might move. That's really the only option at this point.
Man. Wow.
I don't know, man. It's a jungle out there.
It really is. I'm going to stay celibate another year.
Like, is there a single other ridiculous way that I can get rejected? I have been rejected in every possible way that it's almost comical at this point.
What's another crazy way?
Remember when I got dumped on Valentine's Day over the phone by somebody that I had seen 4 times? I mean, I've gotten broken up with via text message.
How was this Valentine's Day?
Well, this Valentine's Day, I was like kind of seeing this guy.
Mm. So you
Miami
did well
guy.
on Valentine's Day?
I mean, I didn't do anything on Valentine's Day, but like,
It was virtual.
yeah, it was virtual.
Yeah.
But he acknowledged it.
He
and-
acknowledged it. Yeah,
See, that was like right before you came.
it was like 2 weeks, a week and a half
Yeah.
before.
So he's fine with talking about Valentine's Day. And
Yeah, it was very intimate. Like, it was very intimate. So
Did you cry?
I cried after,
Yeah.
but I cried. It was less about him. I cried because the rejection was so shocking that
It's a 180.
it was a 180. Exactly. I just like, I didn't understand. I thought maybe I did something wrong. I upon further reflection, I know that I definitely didn't, but
Keith, do you have anything to say about your people?
Cut off their dicks as much as you can.
yeah. Well, I've started an underground circumcision.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's ridiculous. I guess that's what it is. It's he feels like, oh, okay, come on over. He just thinks it's all talk, and then you came over. He's like, "Eee,
Yeah.
now I have to perform."
Jeez.
Did you, when you guys would have virtual sex, would you see him actually come?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah, he saw my whole box. I saw his whole dick.
Did you
Circumcised,
see-
actually.
Did you see his dick and his face in the same shot? Like a friend wasn't like a Cyrano dick.
He tapped out.
Cyrano dick.
He had a stunt double
You know
come
what?
in.
We would accept a Cyrano dick.
I would like a Cyrano dick, actually.
Sounds actually really nice.
That nose would actually be an asset in the box eating department.
Maybe when you saw him, you kept saying, "I can't wait to eat my box," and you kept saying "box" until it was like too much.
Is that off-putting? to you?
It's odd. That's all. You ready to munch some box, sweetheart?
That is what I say. Well, what am I supposed to say?
Now,
Do you want to
there's
perform
Do you want to
cunnilingus on
perform
my
female
flower?
fellatio? You say? Would you like? Can you open my orchid?
Do you want to suck my cock? But
Yeah,
you
I
get
can
it.
see. Yeah, that could be perceived as much more ladylike. I mean, I was thinking back to dinner. Like, we went to sushi, and I was like jerking off the sake bottle. Like, there were, but that's me. Like, that's that. The thing is,
Who paid for your sushi?
he paid.
Interesting.
There were definitely like I was definitely acting like a weirdo, but I always acted like he knew I was a weirdo right off the bat. It's like I was talking to my therapist about it, and she was like, Emily, if this has nothing to do with you. There are lots of different flavors of ice cream, and like everybody likes a different flavor of ice cream, and ice cream is objectively delicious. And I was like, yeah, but he sampled the ice cream. Right. He sampled it many times over the course of 3 months and said he liked it.
But also, if you were being a weirdo, if I just met you and you were being a weirdo, I wouldn't go to sleep. I'd be like, why are you being a weirdo? We've been friends for 3 months.
Right, but like he's a weirdo.
Yeah.
He listens to fish. Like that's another thing. It's like, do you ever find yourself in these situations where you're like, I'm sorry, what? You're rejecting me? What is happening right now?
I'm proud of you that you didn't feel you had to send some kind of letter back, like, and you like fish.
No,
and, like,
I mean, this in a way, this is my letter.
Right.
When you guys were sampling back and forth, and you were showing the whole dick and the whole, how big was he? How small was he? How medium was he?
He's not very big, but it's not. I'm not a size queen. Like,
and I was willing to let go the fact that
he's not. Listen, it's actually hard to tell how big someone is,
especially
virtually.
When they're big.
Especially what?
When they're big. When they're big, somehow you'd be like, oh, shit, you have a big dick.
Right,
but
right.
everything else is like, you know what? I can't tell.
Well, it's like it might be average. It might be on the small side. You might be a grower.
I have a trick ruler for pictures.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
To scale?
Yeah.
Well, the only reason why I know this is because he told me. This is another thing. Like, we were having conversations. Our conversations have always been a little bit sexual in nature because of all this tension that had been building up. So even during the friend hang in the Everglades, like we're still talking about dick size and tit size and like weird, like
really,
yes, and it's fucking awkward. I don't know if he thinks it's awkward, but it's extremely awkward for me. And he tells me casually that he has a 4.5-inch dick, and
but you've already seen it.
I saw it on video, but and to me that's not even like that's not that small. Like that to me that's like probably a little below average. It doesn't matter, but it's just like if you're gonna lie, if we're not having sex at this point, why wouldn't you lie about your dick size? It was a strange like power move to be like, oh, and my dick is this big and you're never gonna see it because you're a fucking loser.
See, but I had a feeling it was like from like a self-conscious place, because he was doing everything, and then she got there, and it seems like, because we've been talking to guys about, you know, on the apps, like they're swiping, they're starting conversations, and as soon as the woman, this is what I've been told, I have no idea, as soon as the woman says, let's meet, they ghost them, because then it becomes real, and they have to actually perform.
Right.
So
I could see that happening.
Yeah.
But I think what happens in those situations more often, I think it's that, you know, it's how much effort are you willing to put in to get laid. Like, I think in those situations.
But all they have to do is show up at that point.
That's more than just typing on the other end of a cell phone.
But then you get to have sex, so it's more than what you get to type on.
Yeah, but sometimes it's not worth it. Sometimes you jerk off and then you're like, you know what? I don't even really care anymore. That happens a lot. You know what I mean?
I haven't had sex in almost a year. Has sex changed to something not fucking blow your mind awesome, screw up your whole fucking life?
It's even better now. There's new
right?
techniques.
I have fucked with my life so much over sex, and you guys are shrugging
over good sex, but you're not always gonna have good sex.
No, you're not.
You know, it's a gamble either way. So I think sometimes you make a plan and then somebody ends up canceling because they're like, you know what? I wanted it, but I don't want it enough to spend the whole evening together and pay for your drink.
These people are all very boring. Can I say that? I think
everybody's
that's fair.
boring. Everybody's boring. Nobody's worth it. I'm not flying for dick. You know what? I'm not going to leave my house for dick. You can come over.
Ooh, I like this.
Yeah.
I like this new Emily.
Yeah. This is new me.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
I like it. You should have like open house hours.
I will.
Yeah.
And it's going to be the most inconvenient. It's going to be between like 11 and 3.
Yeah. And say like no cheese plate, but I will have grapes if you want to bring cheese and crackers.
And feed the grapes directly to me.
Yes.
All right. Well, here she is. It's Emily Lubin. She's a fine young woman. She's sweet.
What is happening out there?
I have a lot of great qualities.
She's great qualities. Sweet.
You're super hot.
Thank you.
You're hot. You wear your pussy on your sleeve.
Actually,
you jerk off condiments in your off time.
Pardon? Oh, yeah.
No, it's exciting. As for Henda, she should see a doctor and get her pH balance checked out. I don't know what's happening down there, but this is
It's a little thick.
But I'm still sorry that this has happened. To
I'm
you.
just saying
it's
stuff
fine.
is always flowing. Stuff is not always flowing for everybody.
I tried.
Wow, you're really into yourself right now.
It's going. This is not an into yourself thing.
So you're always flowing. Like right now, if you weren't wearing pants, you'd be dripping down your leg.
I saw her taking a bath once. There was no water in the tub. Let me put it
Damn.
that way. Yeah. You can follow Emily on Twitter at Lubination.
Life is exciting.
Same thing with Instagram, Lubination. Oh, my Lord. Oh, Henda, you're having a time. I'll fill you in tomorrow more about Henda, by the way. Oh, some exciting stuff. The podcast you want to download is the Hot Mess Comedy Hour. YouTube page has the same thing. You can see the Hot Mess Comedy Hour on YouTube.
Yes, you can. Every Friday at noon, we are live streaming a second episode. We do 2 episodes a week.
There you have it. Well, I'm going to be in Florida, as a matter of fact. Maybe we run into this guy. I'll be in Orlando. Hemda will as well on Friday, a live Keith and the Girls show. It's the Podfest Expo. But just to see our show, you don't have to pay any money. Just go to keithandthegirl.com/Florida.
We hope to see you there. Follow us everywhere.